What is happening, everybody? And welcome to another episode 40 of GKDR. I am your host this evening, Garrick Bartholomew Eaton, and I am joined by my co-host, Devin Stanford, aka Brevin the Dude. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Your camera is like uncomfortably close to you and you're off frame because you're sitting in a different spot. You're sitting in a different spot today or something. There we go.
No, my camera just got moved.
Oh, there. Sick.
Yeah, it just got bumped.
Hi. Hi. I took a great nap after work today and it felt pleasant, except for the waking up part.
Yeah, it looks like you almost missed the episode over it.
I didn't.
But almost.
I didn't.
Did you die though?
I didn't. And it's not like you haven't done that before.
I love how rather than just accepting criticism, Devin always has to be like, but you've made the same mistake. Devin, it's not about me this time. It's not about me this time.
I was here.
And I always accept my lumps, dog. I never don't accept my lumps. You got to accept your lumps.
I accept my lumps.
Like the current lump not
with much grace, friend. You never accept your lumps with much grace.
What are you talking about? I got here before 7 o'clock. I did no different than you guys do all the time.
Bitch, you were here at 7:02.
I wasn't.
No, he was here.
I was here at 6:58.
The current Garrick lump is my realization that his camera didn't actually get moved. He was just in the wrong spot because I always frame you in with your flag right in the middle.
That's what I usually do too.
No, my camera did get moved because I had to. Yeah, because normally my fucking camera is like over here, but I had to move it because my paint thing keeps making it fall off.
So am I off center? Is that what it is? Am I off center on yours?
Maybe. No, it's just this is just where my camera sits now.
Yeah.
Oh,
so I wasn't late, so don't say I was late.
I had to move my camera so that it stopped falling off my desk.
Oh.
Yeah.
Have you tried, like...
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Because it used to be that, like, my camera was, like, right...
Yeah, it was like your flag was like right in the middle. Right, it was like right in the middle. You know what I'm saying?
Like I said, my shit fell off my. Do you guys not remember me talking about this? Like my.
No,
shit
I remember. I'm just letting Ernell ask questions.
My shit fell off my desk, and then I just put it the camera. That's where the camera's been sitting since I reset it up. So it just took y'all that long to notice that it was off center. Really.
What do you have it on now? Because obviously it's not.
It's on the same. It's on the same thing.
Oh, it is.
But like when it fell, the tripod got fucked, so it's a little tweak now.
Oh, okay. You don't like a fuck tripod because then it's just like a dipod. Well, because I was going off like duplex, dupod, bipod.
That sounds French.
Bipod.
That sounds French.
Yeah, there we go.
DJ. Yeah.
DJ hit it.
Dupod.
Anyways, apparently we've all universally acknowledged that my camera was fucking several centimeters off from where it originally was.
You guys had lumps. Do I get a lump today? I want a lump today.
No, you don't get a fucking lump.
The only reason why it bothered me, Garrick, is at the beginning of the show, half your face was out of frame.
But okay. I didn't physically move my person, so I don't understand why.
No, because
I have no explanation as to why my camera got moved. But it doesn't fucking matter. It's fixed now. We're also joined by Ernell. And Ernell's joining us tonight. He goes by Ocean Shrine on the interwebs.
Hey, Shark Daddy for Press.
How are you doing on this Tuesday?
Is
there anything else? Do I need to fix? Like, do I need to fix anything else for you guys?
No.
Right?
Hey, Ernell.
Do I need to go change my outfit? Or is the glare from my glasses bad? Do I need to go switch my hats? Right? Do I just need to go fuck off and get a whole new setup? Would that make you happy? Devin!
Hey, I didn't even complain that much. Ernell did. Hey,
see, Devin said that half your face was showing. He called me fat once. Can you believe that?
I did not.
That, dude?
I did not.
You believe that, dude?
He's gaslighting. Look at him gaslight. Ernell, guess what?
Yeah.
Guess
What's up,
what?
man? What's up?
I wasn't late. I was here on time.
Are you cupping the mic?
my
Don't cup the
God.
mic.
Oh my
Why?
God.
I'm a metalcore vocalist. I got to cup the mic.
Stop it! Stop it!
Oh my God.
No, you were. I mean, all of us are technically on time.
Listen.
I was early.
90,
You know what I mean?
95% of the time, I'm usually always in there at 6:30, like 6:35. And I know you guys know that. Today, I wasn't. And that's okay.
You guys haven't given me a lump yet. I don't get a lump. I don't get a.
Your lump is just us having to deal with you.
That's fair. That's fair, man. Garrick, to answer your question, it's a Tuesday, man. It's Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
I dealt with a lot of low IQ situations today that
Like
just
this?
like have me like feeling like my brain, like I have the tiny brain today. Like I have like
The tiny shriveled
large,
brain.
smooth brain. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I as one DJ would say, a large smooth brain. That was me today. And I'm doing the best that I can, all things considered, because I keep like seeing things that just make me feel like I'm the dummy. You know what I mean? I'm seeing things and I'm like, wow, that's so dumb. But nobody's saying that it's dumb. You know what I mean? Am I the dumb one? Am I the one that's like suffering? You know what I mean? Like
Maybe.
but like because typically when you're the only person that's saying it, it's actually you that's the dumb one. You know what I mean? And I'm the only one saying it. I'm the only one saying it. That's fine. It's fine.
I don't know. Maybe people just be dumb. People are dumb.
People are dumb, man.
Yeah, people are very dumb. But actually, speaking of being dumb, I just had a brain fart, so there it is.
Excellent. Love that for you.
I remembered.
Today.
I remembered.
That was pretty
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's been my day. It's no longer blocking the sidewalk and fucking up my mailbox and my neighbor's
that's right.
mailbox.
You must got taken out
but
by
it
an
is in my
today,
front yard presently because they're not going to pick it up until tomorrow, which is fine. But I'm just glad it's not blocking the walkway anymore, dude. It literally it happened this morning, and I was like fiddle fucking around at home. My wife stayed home today for a release for a book, which I kind of forgot about, admittedly. I stayed home because I'm fucking depressed and I just didn't want to go to work today, like day 2 of that. So that's fucking sick. Literally, my wife was getting ready to leave to go pick up her book for the day, and she was like, "We just had a tree fall down." I'm like, "What the fuck?" And then she we get somebody called, and she leaves to go run her errands, and I'm outside taking pictures of the tree. And one of my neighbors walks by, and they go, "I literally just walked by here 20 minutes ago, and that tree was standing." And I was just like, "Great, it's not anymore."
Was it on your property? Or was it a city tree?
No, it's mine. It was one of the trees on our property. It was an invasive tree. It was a fucking Chinese elm that was already kind of an issue when we moved into the house. There's a few of them that we there's a few trees and bushes around our property that are like that. This was growing out of the center of a fucking lilac bush, and it didn't have a strong root system, and it fell over. We've got another Chinese elm busting up one of our fucking fences in the backyard, and then some lilac bushes that were not planted properly along our fence line by the previous, or not previous, but the original homeowners. And so, yeah, I think we're just gonna end up landscaping the fuck out of our yard this spring so that we don't have to keep, because this is our second tree that's fucking fallen down, by the way.
Yeah, right.
So we will probably just be removing all of them this spring so that it is a non-issue in the future.
Yeah, you don't want to take out somebody else in 20 minutes. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And then get sued for it.
My fucking day. But aside from that, it's not been horrible. I actually did decide to start finally playing. I picked up a video game from my backlog. I finally started playing The Invincible, which is it's like a walking simulator adventure game. Very, very story focused.
Sounds fun. Okay.
It's set on a planet called Regis 3, and basically fuck off nowhere in the middle of the galaxy. It's hard sci-fi. So like it's all like they like try to explain lots of things with like around real sciences and stuff.
Lots of things, yeah.
But like it's been really intense. It's like I would say a thriller is an accurate description for the game. Like it's very like emotionally. It's not scary, right? Like horror is not the right word, but it's a very emotionally intense story about like the best thing I can kind of like parallel it to is something similar to like The Martian.
Ooh, I like that movie.
Yeah, but with some alien elements to it.
They actually have a Martian. Yeah.
Rather than just being stranded on the planet, but they are also stranded on the planet. And so like it's been a really intense little story so far. I don't think it's a very long game. It's got like 9 chapters. But it has 11 different fucking endings. So
Okay.
Nice.
It's
You should
one of those ones you play more than once.
You should play Fort Solis when you get a chance.
I thought you were gonna say Fortnite.
I forgot about that game. That game even came out. Actually, that was
dude.
I think that game was on my list that I lost.
It's like
games that I was keeping track of.
It's like the scariest not scary game I've ever played. Because like something scary is happening, but like you don't actually see the scary happen. You know what I mean? So have fun with that.
Interesting.
But it looks great on PlayStation though. But also Fortnite. You should play Fortnite.
That's what I'm playing. That's what I'm playing the Invincible on his PlayStation 5, and it looks fucking incredible. I actually posted a couple of screenshots in like our little socials channel for staff chat if you guys want to look at those later. But it's a great looking game. But we are not talking about the Invincible tonight, though. But instead, we are talking about Hard Times at NetEase, Mass Effect for the Masses, Life is Stranger Still, and much, much more. Because this is Good Kraken's Death Ratio, and we are slashing through the podcast space to be your source for all of the video game news, reviews, and discussions that you want to hear live each and every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Time. If you want to get ahead of the curve, though, you can head on over to our Discord channel where you can submit questions and topics to the shows, get exclusive content, and have early access to episodes before they go live on podcast and video services wherever you like to watch or listen.
Get ready, Devin. Get ready.
But if you spent all of your credits in another shop, that is totally fine, because you can watch us record this show live right here at twitch.tv/Good Kraken Show. If you have Amazon Prime, you also have what, DJ?
Prime Gaming.
Thank you, DJ. You also have Twitch Prime, and we would love for you guys to give that to us to help us level up our game. But you can also support us by going to our YouTube channel, clicking that beautiful bell and big red button, or by subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Death Ratio and leaving a review there.
Ernell. I almost said Good Kraken. What's up, Garrett?
We have some critical hits coming up.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Just a few of them today.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget, all our episodes are available on YouTube, folks. We mentioned it on the intro, but we want to make sure that if you guys are interested in watching it in a video format, that is only available on the YouTubes. Everywhere else is audio only. So if you want to catch our videos, if you want to see it with your eye holes, YouTube is the place to check our content out there. There's lots of content, old content, exclusive content, and video game content and old content too. So yeah, go check that out. Big news, big news. It's finally happening in time for the holidays. Nonetheless, the merch store is launching this Saturday, November the 16th. So we're really excited to finally be getting that out for you guys. We have our merch in our hands. We are really liking all of the merch. I love my hoodie. I think Devin finally has his hat, right? No, Devin does not finally have his hat. Ernell continues to let him down, and he does not have his hat. But you guys can get your hats probably sooner than Devin if you order something off of the merch store this Saturday, November the 16th, when that goes live. What the fuck are you doing?
I'm being raised by a fly. You know what I mean?
What?
Fly things. I'm doing fly things.
God.
Who invited this kid?
Anyways, you guys can join us for this asshole's show on Friday. where we
just
will
a
be
guest here.
we will
Be
be
nice.
we will be we will be getting together to give you guys our first holiday movie review of the season. I am very excited, even though I probably know it's not going to be great. I'll probably enjoy it more than I should, just because it's a Christmas movie. But my bar for Christmas movies is admittedly pretty low. But you guys can watch us review the first big holiday blockbuster of the year, Dwayne Johnson and Chris Evans' brand new Red One. We are beginning giving a spoiler-free review of that this Friday.
Did your brain break because you read what you wrote on the thing? Because you put join us Friday for our Red One.
Oh yeah, our Red One review.
What a taste of our Red One. Come on Friday.
Well, like a lot of the time when I'm doing the notes, like I just put like the key information because I don't necessarily read it exactly as is written. I just know that like joining us, I just know that me putting that information that was to say that we're having a podcast on Friday and we're reviewing Red One. Like I knew what it needed. I knew what was there. But like,
Red One, all caps.
If honestly, if I could have put just that, and I still would have delivered the same information to the audience.
I know.
Yeah. So, but no. So it was a little brain breaking a little bit there.
If you want to see Garrick's Red One, you could come in on Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time.
Hey yo. You guys can go see the new episode of The Shipwreck Show, episode 144, though. That is available now, wherever you like to watch or listen. Holy fuck.
It's an episode. It's an episode, man.
Yeah, I fucking haven't laughed that hard in a very, very long time.
I listened to the first 7 minutes and was like cracking up again.
Oh, yeah, I was listening to it today.
7 minutes were just unhinged.
So fucking ridiculous. Devin.
So I ended up asking Sam and Larry the would you rather. And I'm going to be light on the details here. But Larry said spine and Sam said fingers.
Interesting.
So, yeah, if you want to figure out what the fuck that's about, you're just going to have to go listen to the episode.
Yep.
And we're not even going to tell you guys any more about it. But what we are going to be telling you guys is what we have coming up next. And Ernell, why don't you tell the people at home what that's going to be?
Yeah, man. If you guys want to see Garrick's Red One come in on Friday.
Oh, yeah, that's on Friday. But what's coming up next?
You guys want to see Meta Minute? It's a Meta Minute. I was
gonna be like, are you good? Do you got this?
I'm good, man. I just want to make sure that people know that if they want to see your Red One, they can come in on Friday.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to see that. But wow.
So you say.
We're heading into the Meta Minute, guys, where we have just some news, some brief news to share with you guys about the video gaming industry or things related to the space. And we wanted to share some things with you guys today that we thought would be interesting around some upcoming releases. And God, I just there's been so many fucking studio closures this year. I figured I'd put it in a story about a new one opening up because that seems rare. But without further ado, Devin, why don't you take us away with our first story?
Yeah. Marvel Rivals and Destiny Rising employees at NetEase arrested. This is coming from Mike Straw over at Insider Gaming. And my name is Devin. In red. Like the red one. A number of employees at Marvel Rivals and Destiny Rising developer NetEase Games have been arrested, according to a new report. According to Chinese outlet Lifeng, with additional context via Bloomberg Law, 9 employees, including 2 senior executives, were arrested for allegedly laundering money. Per the report, the contract value appears to be worth 2 billion won, which is just about 278.6 million. In actual money, it's a bit lower at 800 million to 1 billion won. or 111.4 to 139.3 million. I mean, that's
still so much fucking money.
So much money, dude.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. The two executives implicated in the case are Zhang Lang and Jin Yuchen. Zhang served as the lead of NetEase's esports division, while Jin was the head of the company's publishing side. Neither executive is still with the company. Names of the other employees at the company weren't made available. At least one who was questioned by outlet Yakai Global, I figured it out, has denied any claims of money laundering. The alleged corruption took place within the segments of the company the two executives worked. The company said, that was bad grammar. They also confirmed that 27 different companies have been blacklisted due to links to fraud. Other details of the incidents couldn't be shared due to there still being an active investigation. More information will be provided at a later date.
Dog. The fact that there's multiple employees of NetEase involved in this is fucking crazy. This
Dude,
is crazy shit, brother. It's like
and 27 other companies too.
Dog.
I want to know who those other companies are. Bro. I want to know who those companies are. I want to know.
Yeah. I'm assuming depending on like how the investigation plays out, we'll probably know more come the new year. I bet you we won't find out much more by the end of this year. But this is so fucking interesting to me just because like NetEase is like literally the Destiny Rising is like in the middle of its doing some like closed release stuff right now, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And fucking, we're literally less than a month away from the launch of Marvel Rivals, and like I don't know. I'm curious. Do you think this will like ultimately have any impacts on either of those games releasing or their reception, or do you think people will just end up playing regardless?
I think the games will still come out. I think people will play regardless. I don't think that's going to be ruined at all because like this story came out a little while ago, and we just got the reveal of Moon Knight being in the game, right?
It definitely has not slowed down anything, right? And it's obviously like the company itself isn't being accused of money laundering, which would be a different story, right? Like it's just individuals there within. But
it sounds like this has something to do with esports, specifically, because this was with their the heads of the executives of the esports division of the company, and I'm guessing, and I'm only assuming, and you know what they say about assuming, when you assume you make an ass out of you and me,
and umptions.
Yeah,
make an ass out of you and umptions.
Yeah. But I'm guessing the 27 different companies involved have some connection to esports in some way or another. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I think that might just be circumstantial because the other guy was just the head of the company's publishing division, right? So like maybe that's just like so happens to be like just the two positions that they were part, and this might be like way more personal that we might be giving it credit for, right? We you guys said assumptions, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's still crazy because NetEase is like one of the bigger.
They're pretty big now. They're very relevant. Right,
and these two guys are senior executives. Like these guys are hot shots.
They were senior executives.
They were senior executives. These guys were hot shots. This company, so they had money, lots of it.
They needed more,
and they needed to clean it. They needed to clean their money for whatever fucking reason. It's just crazy to me that this is like a thing in the games that like two guys that are making ample amounts of money were getting money in other nefarious ways, and we're needing to this is like Yakuza shit, dude. Like,
dude, it kind of makes you wonder like what the laundered money
Exactly.
was like its source, what was from, right?
Mhm.
Because it was being laundered through. It sounds like they were being through portions of, not all of, but through certain channels of NetEase, right? So
Right.
like,
Right,
so
right, right.
these employees were being like, okay, you give me this super sketch cash from super sketch activity A, and we will drip feed it into our system. So, and then redistribute it back to you guys so that it's no longer traceable to nefarious activity A, right? Because that's what money laundering is. That's what Ernell means by cleaning. Is it's making it so you can't source the money back to the
Yeah.
sketch
Right,
ass
right,
thing.
right.
And
Right.
so, I'm very curious as to what the sketch ass thing is, right?
I'm saying, man, like, are they involved with? I don't know. I was gonna say something
Because
fucking
like
crazy.
because
but,
like when it comes down to like most things, it's like sex, drugs, or money itself, right?
Right.
You don't
Right.
really need to, or maybe you do. I'm not a criminal. Maybe I don't really understand. Maybe you do. Maybe you need to launder like
Well,
counterfeit bills. Do
here's the
you need to
secret, though.
launder counterfeit bills?
These that's the trifecta, right? Money, sex, drugs, right? The gameplay though is that they all also potentially produce each other, right?
That's true.
So I mean, like it could be.
But it generally leads back to one of those two, like one of those three fucking things, right? Like
Right,
you're trafficking drugs, you're trafficking people, or you're trafficking money. And so like, but like, dude, I don't know. It's just, but 27 companies is a fucking lot. And I have a very strong assumption, if you will, which we're making a lot of those this evening. But hey, it's a fucking, like, there's very little information about this case as of right now. I will be keeping an eye on this just because I'm very curious, because 27 companies is a lot. But something tells me not all of those companies are going to be Chinese based.
Could you guys imagine being one of these employees and they have like a friend that was like, dude, how funny would it be if your guys' company was like laundering money or some shit from this guy? And he was like, yeah.
Oh shit.
That'd be so
That's
funny.
that's
Dude,
crazy, dude.
That'd be so that's crazy, bro. And then he like they like the
Like that Key
friend
and Peele
sees him on
skit
the
where he's
news
sweating
the
bullets
next
about his
20.
internet history.
Dude, that'd be so like if I like went on here and I was kind of like, how funny would it be if you guys found out that like DJ was laundering money, right? And then like next week we see on the news for like stabbing a dude or like some shit like that. That'd be fucking
We're like,
crazy, man.
oh
That'd be
shit!
crazy.
Oh shit! But yeah, no, this was just the year, the game, this year just continues to get curiouser and curiouser within the games industry,
Yes, sir. Yeah.
right? And it, you know, I feel like I'm surprised like more people aren't talking about this. I'm just like, this is really strange behavior. Like, video game folks are nerdy motherfuckers. Like, laundering money's a big deal, guys. Like, you have to be a criminal. Like, you have to be a criminal that knows criminals, that knows people that have probably killed people. Like, that's why you're laundering money.
Man, I bet Devin launders money.
Huh?
Yeah, he's got to launder his skate park crack funds.
See, I can make jokes about that because things have settled down recently. Devin launders money.
There's gonna be like a follow up to certain events, and they're gonna be like, so tell us a little bit about that.
Devin gave up. Devin quit. He quit, dude. We found him. We got him figured out. I fucking knew it, man.
But yeah, I can say I will personally probably be following this very interesting case, because dude, it's fucking crazy. NetEase makes fucking so much money in the mobile market.
So much money. It's almost perfect.
Dude, it's fucking yeah. I don't know. The whole thing was just like, it was almost like laughable with just how ridiculous it all sounded. It sounded like the plot to a bad movie, but nope, it's our reality in the games industry. Speaking of another reality, though, that hopefully has some more positive implications in a weirdly negative year for the industry. Ernell, why don't you take away our next story?
Oh, I will take it away, my good sir. I'll take it right away.
No, bring it back. Bring it back.
Oh yeah, okay. So Devin, I bet Devin like it's funny like the thought of Devin laundering money because like the podcast doesn't make enough money for like anything to ever be laundered through the podcast. But so that
it
means
would be immediately questionable.
immediately questionable. But that also means that like if Devin was laundering money, it would have to be through vegetables, and I like that. I like that. Like
Laundering
you know what's not
hundreds
funny
of
about
thousands of dollars through produce a year.
You know what's not funny about that? That's a very real thing because that's what cartels do. I'm serious with avocados. You guys remember what I was telling you about?
Fucking do not. That is a real fucking thing.
Dude,
Oh my god, dude.
Do you
Devin's
guys
fucking-
remember?
Devin's
Remember when I was
laundering.
telling you guys about the
Yeah.
avocado mafia, man? Remember when I
yeah,
was
the
telling you guys?
cartel thing that was going on.
Yeah,
Crazy,
dude.
man.
They took
Oh man,
they
that's wild.
took FDA inspection agents hostage over avocados.
Wow.
And stuff
That's-
like that
that's
earlier this year.
Absolutely fucking insane,
I'm
guys.
serious.
You guys heard it here first. November 11th, November 12th, 2024 at 7:54 p.m. Pacific time. Devin launders money through avocados via the cartel.
I solemnly
You
do
got
swear that
timestamp for that,
everything I
Mr.
say
Court,
is the
guys.
truth, and I'm not saying anything but the truth. I do not.
He does not. He does not. Yeah, I take it back.
He might though. He might though. But without further ado,
I
further
solemnly
ado-
swear by my right hand in observance. I do not.
Yeah, put your hand on the
Pretty mind,
avocado, Devin, and we're gonna swear
I
you
ate
in.
it. Oh, I had him.
see,
Wait.
Pretty mind,
I
though.
gotta show you what I got from work today.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Former Devil May Cry and Dragon's Dogma director reveals a new studio. This comes from John Bonelli over at Game Rant. Longtime Capcom director Hideaki Itsuno, known for his work on the Devil May Cry and Dragon's Dogma franchises, will lead a new studio named Lightspeed Japan. His final game before leaving Capcom earlier this year, Dragon's Dogma 2, was released to a largely positive reception, though some of its design elements saw criticism. Nevertheless, Dragon's Dogma 2 is one of the biggest fantasy RPGs of the year next to BioWare's more recently released Dragon Age, The Veil Guard. What celery do you have, Devin? Oh, God.
an English cucumber.
Mother of God. He has Kermit the Frog's cock. Haven't
Hey, how's it
haven't
going?
been- It's wrapped too. It's wrapped. Having been hired by Capcom in 1994, Itsuno went on to become one of the more prolific game directors at the publisher for his work
He
on
fucking
titles.
worked for Capcom for 30 fucking years.
30 years, brother. On
God
titles
damn.
like Devil May Cry 3, 4, and 5, as well as the less popular 2012 fantasy RPG Dragon's Dogma, which finally received its long-awaited sequel in 2024. While the original Dragon's Dogma largely flew under the radar and was considered a more niche cult classic, its follow-up became one of the most anticipated games of the year and landed an open critic score in the high 80s. Dragon's Dogma 2 would be Itsuno's last game with Capcom, as the famed director departed the studio in August. A few months later, after his departure from Capcom, Itsuno revealed on Twitter that he'd be leading a new branch of Tencent's Lightspeed studio named Lightspeed Japan. Known mostly for working on games like PUBG Mobile and Undawn, Lightspeed's new Japan studio based out of Tokyo and Osaka will create a AAA action game with Itsuno's leadership. Quote, joining Lightspeed Studios is an exciting new chapter for me. I look forward to creating original AAA action game titles together with the amazing team and building aesthetic and innovative experiences for the global player community. Itsuno, commented. Excuse me, I almost said commented. Commented. Prior to becoming the Devil May Cry director with Capcom's ranks, Itsuno worked on a number of fighting games such as Power Stone, Project Justice, and Capcom vs. SNK 2. Despite his earlier experience with fighting games, it seems clear that he's been brought on with Lightspeed to helm action games and potentially RPGs that are more in line with Devil May Cry and Dragon's Dogma. Whether his new project at Lightspeed will be a spiritual successor to either of those two franchises, or if it'll make its own mark, is yet to be seen, though it will more than likely resemble elements of Itsuno's past work with Capcom. Lightspeed Japan has only just been formed, so fans of Itsuno's work with Capcom shouldn't expect any concrete information about upcoming titles anytime soon. As for Capcom, it'll be interesting to see how the publisher moves forward with its Devil May Cry and Dragon's Dogma franchises, if at all, seeing that Resident Evil, Dead Rising, and Monster Hunter have arguably become hotter commodities among Capcom fans. That's true. That's very much.
Yeah, dude, well, especially with Monster Hunter too, because like Monster Hunter was always big in like their Eastern market, but it is now much more it's now being way more like popularized here in the West as well. So like Worlds definitely helped that with its release on Play. I definitely like equate Worlds to that success for Capcom. This is really interesting though, because I know we have both like we're all fans like of, you know, I've played Dragon's Dogma. Did you ever play Dragon's Dogma, like the original one or no or two?
I played the first one. Yeah. I was cool with the first one because it was recommended to me from a friend that if I like Dark Souls, I might be into Dragon's Dogma, and I was like, sure.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, it's the combat style is adjacent enough that I can see that's a fair recommendation.
Right, and I ended up liking it. I did not jump into Dragon's Dogma 2. I know Devin was playing that for a little while, but it just didn't. It had something about it that wasn't quite capturing me, so I didn't pull the trigger on that bad.
Played the fuck out of that.
Oh, Derek's pinging like crazy.
While he's pinging, Dragon's Dogma 2 is an incredible game. I enjoy it a lot. It's fantastic.
Did you run credits on that bad boy?
No, but let's see how many hours I put into it. I haven't beaten the game yet. I've been distracted by a lot of other games that came out this year. I have 42 hours in it.
Oh wow, our whole room is starting to ping like fucking crazy. I love if I was starting to get choppy on you, Devin.
You were earlier in the show, but it's been fine.
Yeah, I don't think it's just. I think it might be a Discord thing this time. I don't think it's me.
I think it is too. Yeah, because Devin was starting to be a little weird too. But we're good now. Looks like we're good now.
I thoroughly enjoyed Dragon's Dogma. I rolled credits on the first one. Haven't done it on the second one yet. It's a great game. I need to do it. That's actually something I need to do on like that's on my to-do list of games I have to finish this year.
I told myself I can't get Dragon's Dogma or Veilguard until I beat Final Fantasy 16.
Which you should just do that, dude. Honestly, I know Ernell can speak for this too. That game is fucking incredible.
God damn, it's so.
I will get back into it. I'm just like I'm kind of I've been in a slump. Obviously with just like the espresso depresso existing, right? Like it makes like doing things that you enjoy already kind of hard. So that's why I'm trying to like start with a smaller game like the Invincible to entice myself to kind of pick the controller back up again, because I hadn't played anything in like 2 weeks up until today. And so yeah, but like I want to beat Final Fantasy 6. I want it to be one of my 12 games this year. So
I uninstalled it already because like I decided I didn't need to do the new game plus personally. But I did everything in the game. I did all the side quests, all the hunts, all the DLC, everything that came, all the side quests with the DLC. I did everything. Almost 100% completed it via achievements minus the new game plus achievements.
Sure.
But I did all of that in 85 hours.
That's a pretty full game though. That's a lot of game. To refocus us here, just a teeny tiny bit though. Are you guys excited for like this new studio, or like with him being in charge of, like, because we're fans of Dragon's Dogma, we're fans of Devil May Cry. Do we feel like, but I don't necessarily believe a lot in Tencent as like a company personally. That's kind of where my issue is I don't necessarily believe a lot in Tencent. I think this is our best chance of getting like these franchises to continue to continue like spiritually. While I do think that Dragon's Dogma could have a potential like for a third game, I feel like that's highly unlikely with the head director having left Capcom, and it also took like fucking 15 years or some shit for us to get a sequel in the first place.
Mm.
I don't
And
think it'll
with
happen.
Devil May Cry hasn't they're like that franchise has been losing. As I love Devil May Cry, I do, but that franchise has been slowly losing steam for years. And Capcom's Western like their US studios kind of fucked the franchise with the DMC reboot, and it never really picked up traction again since
I
then.
liked it though.
But
I liked it.
I mean, I
personally.
liked it too for
I did
what it
too.
is, but like fundamentally, like if you look at it apples to apples, that shit's not DMC, right? It's it's not. And so
Sorry, I was gonna say I do have a theory that is more because of DMC just generally speaking than it is just because of like a title that kind of rubbed people the wrong way. Because I might be wrong about this. This is just very much just like me throwing commentary out there. I feel like people are getting tired of the quirkiness of DMC, of Devil May Cry as a whole.
it is, yeah.
right?
I think it's that genre of action game is just like not really. It's not the flavor anymore, right? Like your Bayonetta, or like they have a place. I'm not saying they're gonna go away forever, but like that style of like ARPG, like that action adventure game, like your Darksiders, your Bayonettas, your Devil May Cries, your fucking like any of those like more linear like action adventure experiences, they're not being made. And like the thing is like I feel like you can't really get a higher quality of that game without elevating story elements, right? And then it's not really an action adventure anymore, where it's more an elevated story game where like you have action elements like The Last of Us. But when it comes to games like Devil May Cry, I feel like the most like, if I'm for better or worse, the most like honest example of what that game would look like in modern times is that new linear game. What was it? Evil West, like the co-op,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that still looks like very much. That still looks like a very video game. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I like that genre is not like really getting elevated. So I feel like we'll probably get more of the Dragon's Dogma like RPG stuff from him personally. Like in whatever
Yeah.
his Lightspeed Japan studio like ends up doing. But I am very curious because like I like Dragon's Dogma, I like DMC. It'll be a spiritual successor of either of those franchises wouldn't be ill received, I don't think.
Yeah, I think having an opportunity to be able to make a game that is not on Capcom's sort of very anime engines that they have, I think will be good for him.
Oh yeah, that's true. Because Dragon's Dogma really pushes that look. But if you look at it for really hard, right? That's still a cap. You can still see the Capcomness about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, like Dragon's Dogma looks like a high fantasy Monster Hunter. I mean, for like all intents and purposes,
Essentially,
like
yeah.
the
Would
character
just
art and stuff,
Yeah, like if you just put more Western features rather, physically on the character models, because Dragon's Dogma is
Mhm.
more. They definitely have more European appearances one to one for their characters. Like Monster Hunter likes the more Eastern Asian aesthetic overall. But like
Yeah.
if you just swapped off facial features, it is the same fucking thing.
Yeah, very much so. And
Especially
like
when you compare it to like World.
well, and like we just see like what Tencent's done with other games. Do you know what I mean? Like they have so many different games that have such very deep art styles and
Or
just
unique at the very least.
yeah, more. I mean, thank you. I don't know why I was brain for it, but yeah, more unique game art, character art, and world art that like I think he could really spread his wings with. So I don't know. I'm excited for it.
Hell yeah.
I'm like 50-50 on it,
Yeah.
honestly. Mainly just because it's Tencent, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
just
and
because
light
like
speed hasn't been great, right? Like PUBG Mobile's like it's it is what it is. Undawn basically like that game was not well received. I
well,
don't know if you guys remembered any of that at all. That was that game that had Will Smith in it.
oh yeah, that came and
Yeah.
went, didn't it?
Exactly.
It's just like just because a creator of a great IP, you know, tries to do something good doesn't mean it's always going to be good. I mean, look at what happened with
That's true.
Slitterhead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, I hate
Good
to be
point
blunt about it,
there.
but like, I just have to see it before any level of hype because like there's so many things that get announced and this and that and hey, we're doing this. I mean, look at what happened with the day before. You know what I mean? It's like
Oof, yeah.
Yeah. We don't talk about
but
that.
unless it's Tetsuya Nomura like be like, "Hey, here's part 3 to Final
Yeah,
Fantasy
there are
7."
there are
You know
there
what
are
I
very
mean?
few individuals in the development community that I just give like a I trust you to make something at least interesting, right?
Kojima.
Kojima's definitely one of those individuals.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
the number of those people is definitely you can count them on like one hand. You're like, oh yeah, I trust this person to like
Todd
if they
Howard.
touch the game, it's going to be like at least a decent game. I don't necessarily know that I even trust Todd Howard me personally. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but like I don't know if
I'm a
I have
shill
that level
for
of faith.
I'm a shill for his IPs, so and just
So
Great.
yeah, like I just don't know that I have that faith, but you having that faith in him is perfectly acceptable, right? It's just like I don't know that that Itsuno is that guy for any of us, respectively.
yeah. The
Agreed.
hot take. I like DMC. Couldn't finish Devil May Cry 5.
I never got around to that
Again,
one.
It's
I just didn't
it's
play
real
5.
slow. It's real slow in the beginning, but it gets good. Like it gets pretty damn good.
I just not to draw this out, but I just want to get like my final piece in on this. I think that genre of like action game isn't wholeheartedly like doesn't hold up in the modern age. You know what I'm saying?
I'm right there with you.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I am right
Yeah.
there with you.
Especially with like the advancement and like the expectation of storytelling and gameplay nowadays.
You know, see, God of War knew what was up, right?
Yeah,
Because they were that formula of game, and they knew how to take it into the modern era. But like I said previously, right? Like it had the elevated story elements.
Elevated.
Are
Elevated.
like they're
Elevated.
they're like
Elevated.
obligatory at this point.
Elevated.
When it comes to like
Elevated.
making a good modern game, elevated
I actually
elements,
like that.
elemented.
I like that. Elevated.
Elevated. I do actually like that though.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Elemented. So
Elemented.
yeah,
Yeah,
without
but-
those elements, that it just like it feels very flat in
Yeah.
the modern gaming space. I
Well,
think you're right.
yeah, especially with like the storytelling that The Last of Us has influenced within video games. You could actually say that the concept of Joel and Ellie, parent and child, influenced God of War.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
right?
then the way that God of War has influenced action games, the way that Dark Souls has influenced games. It's you don't see Dynasty Warrior style games coming out anymore. There used to be a ton of that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's the perfect game to bring up, because I was going to be like, long gone are the days of hack and slash. Like we just crave a little more as gamers.
I think the last hack and slash game I bought was that Final Fantasy Strangers of Paradise, which is like obligatorily like just not that great of a game, honestly. Like it just isn't.
Yeah.
But like it has some pretty parts and some fun things, and I broke the game when I found out how their job system worked. But yeah, it's just, I mean, I see those at best being AA style games now, like shorter AA games.
Yeah, I think you're ultimately right there overall. But speaking of moving into the modern gaming space, let's talk about some releases that we do have coming up
Yes, sir.
For the next part of the week before we get into the meat and taters of our episode here for our review
sounds
for
good.
y'all. We have. I don't remember. I'll just start on the 11th. We have Everhome coming out on PC as of yesterday,
Garrick,
November
Garrick.
11th. But
I always do Tuesday through next Monday. Like,
Okay, so that's what I thought you guys were doing, and then I thought you guys switched to doing Monday through to Sunday. So what's the final say? What do we
I don't think it fucking.
I always
think
do
the
like
final say is that it ultimately does not fucking matter if a few games
Agreed.
get repeated.
Gotcha. Okay, for sure.
That's where I'm landing on it.
Fair enough. Okay.
I will. Yeah, I don't know, but if we feel like we need to hammer that out, we could talk about it on a Saturday morning or
On
something.
Saturday,
but,
for sure.
But like, I think ultimately it is inconsequential because most people
we
are just
talk
gonna be
about
like,
it right now.
Yeah, exactly, right. But Farming
is your favorite
Simulator
off-frame?
25. Is also coming out on PlayStation 5, Series XS, and PC on November 12th. We've got Tetris Forever. That's like a very intense title for a Tetris game. Coming out on all of the consoles and PC November 12th. Is this game trying to kill me? Coming out on PC November 13th. That's an interesting title.
Hey, Ernell.
Oh my god. Songs of Silence coming out on PlayStation 5, XS, and PC on the 13th of November. Dig VR on Quest. That's coming out November 14th. Dragon Quest 3 HD and 2D remake. HD 2D remake. Is coming out on PlayStation 5, XS, Switch, and PC on the 14th. We have Flint, Trevor, Treasures of Oblivion, coming out on PlayStation 5, XS, and PC on the 14th. Lego Horizon Adventures, the game that absolutely nobody asked for, on PlayStation 5, Switch, and PC, coming out on November 14th. I'll just go to the we have follow the Meaning out on PC on November 15th. Blood Dome 99, that sounds like a Flash game. Coming out on PC November 15th. Great God Grove on Series XS, Switch, and PC the 15th. And that will be it for this week because we don't have anything else releasing until the 19th, which we will talk about later. Next week. So that is what we have coming up. Not a lot of big releases this week in the gaming space. But
hey, Garrick.
That's what we got. What? Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
I saw you while you were doing it the whole time. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
I like how he did it deliberately the entire time I was reading the list, but just to be sure I actually saw him do it.
He had to confirm.
He had to fucking say my name and make sure my attention while I was looking at the camera.
No. Jared, while you were reading the list, that was all for Ernell. That last one was for you.
Oh, that's specifically for me. Got it.
No.
He's so honored. He's so honored.
I feel so special.
I mean,
what else is special is our final segment. God, I can't fucking. I'm having a real hard time with words.
Elevated.
Elevated.
We are headed into the final segment of the evening. We are headed to the Endgame, folks. And tonight we have a review for you guys. And you might ask, review? Don't you guys do that in Chapter Select? Sometimes. When that's not the headlining segment and we want to talk about the review a little bit and then also talk about something that's maybe more important than review. But we don't have anything more important than review. So the review is the headliner tonight. See, you just gotta just deal with the program, all right? Sometimes it's one way, sometimes it's another way, sometimes it's both ways, and
sometimes it's green.
But tonight, Ernell is reviewing a game that
Am I?
Yeah, he is.
Am I?
Oh, you are.
Okay.
I thought Devin asked that question. I'm not gonna lie.
They're gonna be like, no, you're fucking not. Like,
No. And I was like, oh wait, yes you are, because you're actually, yes, it is you.
Fuck you guys.
So tonight, Ernell will be reviewing for you all at home Life is Strange Double Exposure, the direct sequel to Life is Strange, and part of the continuation of the greater Life is Strange franchise. So, without further ado, Ernell, tell us all about your experience and time with Life is Strange Double Exposure.
Nope.
All right, this has been Good Kraken's Death Ratio.
He's just like, yep, it's good.
I like it. Play it. Buy it.
Yeah.
Is it a good night?
I like it. I used to do that shit to Ernell all the time. He'd be like, what's your review? I'd be like, yep, it's good.
It's all right, man.
Decent. Respectable.
All right, that'll be Good Kraken's Death Ratio. No, man. So, man, what do I even start with this? Okay, so Life is Strange Double Exposure. For any of you that don't know this, if you're not like into the Life is Strange world, Life is Strange Double Exposure takes place 10 years after Life is Strange 1. That follows the characters Max, Caulfield, and her friend Chloe. Friend slash partner. It gets a little bit more complicated.
It gets a little muddy in there. But
yeah, it gets a little bit weird. But this takes place 10 years after the events that end off in Arcadia Bay, the setting of the first game. I'll get there after. There's some stuff that happens in the first game where the very ending of the game you are given a choice to make between one thing that is really, really hard to I don't know, is that a spoiler? The game's really fucking old. Is that a spoiler? You're muted here.
Oh shit, sorry. It is old enough now that I feel like we can use it to preface information about what to expect with this current title.
Okay. So the end of Life is Strange 1 has you choosing between allowing your girlfriend slash friend Chloe to die to save the town of Arcadia Bay, or you can choose to save Arcadia Bay by allowing Chloe to be the one who dies. The reason is that Max Caulfield, our main character, in Life is Strange 1 has the ability to control time. More specifically, be able to rewind time back to moments in which she can see in photos that she has taken, or that she can see pictures on a wall and be able to kind of transport herself to that time in which that photo was taking place. She can also do other things like freeze time, things like that. And those powers caused some kind of weird, crazy storm to happen. And that storm was jeopardizing the safety of the town of Arcadia Bay. Just for your guys' information, in the first game, I allowed Chloe to be killed. I chose to save the town. That was my first time playing Life is Strange 1. Now we fast forward to present day in Life is Strange Double Exposure, which 10 years later, our character Max Caulfield is now the resident photographer for a school known as Caledon University, and she has moved to Canada. Specifically Vermont, if that matters to you guys. And Max, because of whatever choice you have chosen from the first game, is now estranged to Chloe, or Chloe's dead, so she doesn't live anymore. And Max is now in this new town with new friends, new students, new people that she hangs out with, and has now started a new life in which the past 10 years she hasn't used her powers to control time at all. So she has sworn off the abilities, and now she's in a situation where she has her new best friend, Sophie, who is the daughter of the dean of Caledon University, somehow, mysteriously, somehow, some way, is murdered. And now Good old main character Max, getting stuck in all the bullshit once again, has to now solve the mystery of who killed Safi. And she has to do that by now finding out accidentally that she has the ability to no longer control time the way that she was doing it, but she can now travel between two different parallel timelines, one of which Safi is actually still alive. So she now has to solve the mystery of who killed Safi to save the living Safi in the living timeline. So that way she can find out who killed Safi in the dead timeline. So with that
Like
said,
you say Safi. Like how
Safi,
fast?
Safi, Safi,
Faster.
Safi, 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 Safi,
Faster.
Safi, 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 Safi. So for anyone that doesn't know, these games are a narrative-driven sort of decision-making mystery type game that you're kind of going through. And in the first game that came out very long time ago is very, very dated. And so now we're going back into a Life is Strange game with a character that we've known for a very long time, looking very, very different in the new art style that Life is Strange games are in. And I want to kind of start there because the art, this game is beautiful, is kind of where I want to start. So the character art and like the art style that they've chosen for this game are this sort of like really cool hybrid between realistic and cartoon. And I feel like that they did a really good job of this because it feels like Arcane, the show. Like the sort of like artwork style that they have. That's like 3D. They're very highly stylized. They're very cartoon, but their facial like emotes and like the way they move and everything feel very realistic. And the way they handled that just felt super silky smooth. Like I was very, very much like believing that these characters were feeling and saying the things that they were saying, and that the characters were so animated that like it actually made the characters feel believable. The voice acting to go along with that was outstanding. The story in this game I felt was very interesting because they kind of take a situation that is similar to the first game and they flip it on its back end, I guess is like kind of like the best way that I can explain it. Because I mean, like we're also we handled a murder mystery in the first game because the first game we're trying to figure out who killed X person and where are all these people going missing and what does that mean? And we just so happen to be stumbling across something that is much, much bigger than that. And in this game, we are also trying to figure out who killed who and also stumbling into something way fucking bigger than even the first game was because there's a couple of fucking crazy plot twists in this game that I thought were very, very creative and really, really cool for them to kind of do in the overarching Life is Strange universe, if you will, because that is now a thing. I'll leave you guys to put that together on your own. Now, what I will say is, as someone who has been a long time Life is Strange fan,
Same.
I played all of them. I love all of them. Like for the different reasons there are to love all of them. There are some issues with this game, and I don't know if you guys have seen an amount of vocal folks that have very much not been happy about this game.
Yeah, I have seen a lot of discourse around this game. It's really hard to feel if it's accurate discourse or if it's just more of the same bullshit we've been spoon fed recently. Because the first games weren't like overwhelmingly critically like well received. I think they were like they ended up in like the high 70s, low 80s for like a lot of people. Like enough to continue the franchise enough, and they have people that obviously very much love them, like Ernell and myself. But they're a very niche genre of game. So I personally have seen a lot of discourse, which is one of the reasons I wanted us to do like a full like talking review on this game because I wanted to see. I wanted your perspective to see if you feel like there was any merit to anything that was being said, or if it all felt like it was bleh.
Yeah, for sure. To answer your question a little bit here, the problems people are having with the game that they're being vocal about are dumb. It's stupid. It's fucking stupid dog shit.
I had a feeling.
But there are some things that I do feel are a little bit criminal in this. So, firstly, like I said, the story is really, really cool, but the choices you make in this game. And Garrick, Devin, have you played any Life is Strange games?
I actually have not.
Okay. So to kind of frame this for you, right? In the first game, there is a part of the game where you have to make a very specific decision to how you talk to a certain character. And that certain character, dependent on what decision you make in terms of what you tell this character, will either cause this character to go home and, like, you know, make do with her friends, or she jumps off the school roof and kills herself.
Yeah,
and
like
so
it's an immediately impactful fucking choice.
It's like impactful, right? It's like the decisions you make in the first two Life is Strange games like very much make a difference in the overarching like experience that you have with the game. In this game, unfortunately this one kind of suffers from the illusion of choice problem that a lot of games have been having lately, where you choose to do something and you kind of like the choice more so just directly affects a conversation right after that choice happens, and then kind of how that character talks to you for like the remainder of the game, but it doesn't actually do anything to directly impact the story. And so like it
Gotcha.
kind of like starts to get to a point where after the first few decisions, I was like, does this even really matter? Right? Like because in
You
Life
weren't
is
feeling
Strange,
the weight of your own choices.
yeah, because in Devin, for in Life is Strange, when you have a very important decision to have to make, the world will freeze and it'll give you this like this choice or this choice. And you have to kind of like click back and forth between left or right. And then like the whole world pauses.
And you're
you
fucking
choose
locked in.
You're locked in, and it's like dramatizing like how important it is of like this is an important decision, you have to make it right. In this one they do that, and then you like have a brief conversation after where they're like, well, that wasn't very nice, and then it's gone, it doesn't even fucking matter anymore, right?
That's
And
kind of lame, dude. I feel like that's like a loss of identity for a title like this.
Well, and here's the deal too, is I didn't understand the extent of this until my second playthrough. So I went back and purposely did a bunch of different shit, comparatively to the first choices that I made, just so that I could kind of see like what things would be different the second time around. I got the same exact ending. There are no different endings, by the way. Same exact ending. The like all the same characters that were affected by certain things were still affected in the way that they were in my original playthrough.
It was just different dialogue based off of choices.
It was just different dialogue
no,
and a different like
no
attitude. They just have a different attitude when they talk to you
That's
about
a
something.
shame.
But you can still work around it though. It's not like you're now restricted from getting a thing because that person doesn't like you. You still can get the thing.
Yeah, the choice didn't have a lasting impact on the narrative.
Right. And it's like imagine other games like if they did that. You know, like how much of a bummer that would be. It's just like and for a game that is so narratively driven, it's a bit of a bummer. It is a bit of a bummer. And so I kind of would have felt a little bit better if they just decided to just get rid of the choice thing in this game. If they weren't going to like really commit to that, they could have just like tossed it to the side and said, hey, we're not going to do that anymore. You know, like if it was really that like hard for them to fucking do, they should have just not fucking done it. But whatever, that is what it is. The story is decent enough that I don't think that it's like a huge problem. Because regardless, like I said, the story is still the story no matter what choices that you make. And the story in this is still actually very interesting, especially because of some plot twists that they do.
Hang tight real quick, Ernell. Devin,
Yeah.
you had your hand up.
Oh,
I'm
sorry,
assuming
sorry, I didn't
question.
I was just gonna say, like, if you're looking for like narrative impact on storytelling and choices, you guys should really play Baldur's Gate 3. Because
No
that,
chance.
dude,
Yeah.
that game is full of it.
Yeah,
It's
not
full
gonna.
of it.
Not gonna.
That's
Actually, I'm done with this review. Actually, I'm over this review.
That's right. I'm just
That was a choice.
making
That's a choice.
suggestions.
That's a choice. And you guys would be like, okay, well, I guess that's the end of the episode. You know what I'm saying? Like that would impact my choice would
All
impact
right,
this episode.
have a good night,
It would be-
everybody.
No, but that is a big bummer. That like it's suffering from the illusion of choice because I feel like we've gotten a lot of games that have definitely like experienced that, right? Because like Dying Light 2 kind of toted that like your decisions were going to be very important and like it really ultimately didn't matter for the most part.
Right.
Like that was one of the ones. It's like it's kind of a shame that like I feel like if I really want a game that like makes the most out of like player decision making, I've either got to play like the brand new Baldur's Gate 3, which has lots of player agency and like choice impact, or I've got to go back several years and play something like Detroit Become Human.
Where decisions really fucking matter, in that,
right? Where like you feel
Or Mass Effect.
the actual weight of your decisions.
or Mass
like,
Effect. Yeah, Mass Effect too. Yeah.
I haven't played Mass Effect first, so I couldn't speak to those. But
Same. Yeah, I only got like 3 hours in. But I do play it on. I do play it on. I do play it
Shame.
on.
Even
Well,
DJ actually played them.
yeah, I'm good.
DJ is he's got a lot more time than I had. You know what I'm saying? A lot more time than I.
But
they are long games.
Back to the plot twists and the narrative of this game.
Yeah, so with those things said, to kind of continue on the beat of some things that I had a couple issues with, because there are really only a couple of issues that I really have with this game. The other main one that kind of irked me a whole lot is there are some pretty egregious audio design issues in this game, and that are like arguably
In what way?
bugs. So I think they were bugs, but it goes
still,
down to
if
the
it
audio
breaks
design.
your
That's
if
a
it
problem.
damages your experience, it's worth bringing up, right?
Yeah. So it was probably 2/3 of the game that I ran into this issue, where every once in a while, when characters were talking, like you were in a dialogue situation between two characters, which is a majority of the game, Garrick.
Right.
A majority of the game
it's basically fucking. It's walking around and talking
and clicking things and like engaging in that
and engage. Yeah,
conversation.
like
Right.
you're literally like you're doing some like low key investigative work, looking at pictures and things around rooms and buildings, or having really in depth conversation with people.
Yeah. About 2/3 of the game, I had an issue that would randomly pop up where one of the characters for an entire conversation would suddenly either be really loud or would sound like they're far away. And they would have the entire conversation with one character sounding like this, while the other character was sounding normal in the middle of the conversation. So she'd be like, "Oh my god, can you believe that Jake did that?" And she'd be like, "I have no clue why he would do such a thing. That's so weird." She's like, "Right? I just saw her with saw him with Sarah the other night." She's like, "Ew, fuck Sarah. She's so gross." Like, imagine how annoying that is for like
that. I can see that. Like that's like one of those tools where like it's good audio designed if it's being used intentionally, like a person in another room. Right, or something like that.
Right.
But like when it's two motherfuckers obviously standing next to each other and you're like, and you can't discern why there's a difference in the audio, it's very off-putting. That sucks because it sounds like it could either be a bug or it could be bad recording qualities.
Right. Well, and as far as something that I know was not a bug and was actually just some audio design choices, when characters are talking, there's not like busy noise.
Oh yeah, like
it's just
it's very silent.
It's just open background silence, right? Like there could be people walking around in the snow because
Not
it's
even
very
music?
snowy. There's music during like some parts, but like a majority of these conversations are just like conversations, and there's just like dead silence. And I mean dead silence in places that like there's supposed to be college students walking around, and
Right,
like
like it doesn't
things
feel
being
alive
moved and like
in the way you would like it to necessarily.
right.
Devin.
Would you say that this game feels like half finished? Like it's not
No,
finished all the way?
I don't necessarily think that. I think that it was only 95% finished. Like there was just some polish that I think wasn't thought about at the end of the day. That definitely this game kind of suffers from. Just in terms of like those little tiny things that other games don't have problems with. You know what I mean? Because it's been a long time, and I'm sure you can attest for this. It's been a long time since we've had crazy audio bugs in a game, right? Like most of the bugs that we see in experience are like visual, right? It's like constructive to like the movement of the character, or like a wall like disappearing or some bullshit like that. It's not often you get audio bugs where like someone's suddenly talking like that, like for like no fucking reason. You know what I mean? It's super fucking like weird and off-putting, like Eric said. It was just kind of uncomfortable. But now like I got those two like core things that like really are like the only main things that I had issues with. The rest of this game was a fucking fun time. And like I like was super sucked into this fucking story, boys. Like I like once things kind of really start taking off, because I want to make sure that I mention a little bit about like the mechanics of this, right? So as I mentioned earlier, Max, our main character, she can't freeze or rewind time anymore, but she can travel between two different like timelines specifically. She can also do what's called a blink, which is where she can sort of wave her hand, and sort of within like a 10-15 feet radius around her, she can see like glimpse into the other timeline, where like around her like the things in our current timeline like fade away, and like the other timeline's world kind of comes up in like a golden sort of like sparkly versions of like a, because like let's say for example Garrick, right? You have your computer in front of you. You wave your hand, and your desk and your computer fade away. And in this other universe, it's actually a bed. You would see this like golden, sparkly bed there instead of your computer desk, and that's kind of
to
what she
indicate
has.
to you that this is different.
Yes,
than
in this
what it
other
used to be.
universe, in your other universe, Garrick has a bed here instead of a computer desk, right? And then same thing out in public. Like there's people that are standing there in this universe or in the dead universe, which is what they refer dead and living based off Safi, the friend, being dead or alive.
Sure.
So then in the dead universe, there will be people there, and then she peers into the living universe, they fade away, and there's other people like in golden sparkly version that she can peer into. You go into the other timeline by entering into what's called shift points, so she can shift into the other universe. And it's really, really cool because I think they use the same mechanics of what's that that game that came out on Xbox where it was like a horror game, two different screens on the top and bottom. They're like active worlds. It was the something. I feel like she's a medium. The medium. That's what it was.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think it uses the same sort of system that the medium had, where these worlds are actually effectively functioning at the same time. Because when you go to the shift point, she like holds her hand up, and then like this crack happens like in midair, and she pulls the crack open, and it's just the world and like on the other timeline. And so like you can see the screen shift out with everything that you did see in your universe, and introduces the new universe like within that crack. It's really, really cool, like functionally speaking.
Universes and cracks, huh?
Universe and cracks, baby. You know what I'm saying? They find really cool ways to incorporate the function of the shifting and blinking to sort of solve pieces of this mystery. So there's like some people that you have to like get information from that won't give it to you because they know you. So you have to like go into the other universe, like switch to the other universe,
or
and
you're
then
a stranger to them, or
right, and then
Gotcha.
glimpse into the living universe to hear them talking about the information that you need, because you can hear when she does the blink thing. When she like just kind of glimpses into the other, she can hear what other people are saying. So like there's some information that they're saying in the other universe that they're not saying in this universe because they're not the same people. Like they're the same character, they're the same person, but it's not the same person.
right?
You know
It's
what I mean?
a variant.
Yeah, exactly. And then there are some things that you can do that will like affect how this specific character treats you in this universe differently than how they treat you in the other universe. So like there's two different love interests you can get in this game, between a character named Amanda, super cute, she's so fun, and then another character named Vin. And depending, you can have one Amanda in one world fucking like hate you, and have the other Amanda in the other world like be in love with you. And then like vice versa with Vin too. You can have like one Vin like really not like you, and one kind of like you, but like kind of think that you're a friend instead, or have one have a huge crush on you, the other one doesn't. And that's just strictly based off like really tiny decisions you make like in dialogue conversation, and how it like sort of stacks up above each other. Yeah, I think the mechanics of the game are probably the thing that I was like the most impressed by, because they found really clever ways to go about this, and the overarching story is so deeply involved in like the different characters you run into, because there's like mostly other teachers that are at the school you run into. There's like a trans teacher that like is in the living universe is being investigated because someone saw her selling drugs to somebody on campus, but she didn't do that. So there's someone that looks like her that did that. And so like there's a whole mystery thing behind there. There's a teacher that like in the dead universe, like Safi
So there's
fucking
some interesting subplots.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting subplots, and I think the subplots actually make the plot of this game actually like really good. And so for the story elements of this game, I think that it was fun and it was interesting and it kept me captivated the entire time. And then chapters, because there's like 5 chapters total in this game. Each chapter took me about an hour and a half to 2 hours to beat. They're a little bit on the lengthier side. But chapters 3 through 5 like take off. Like some shit fucking happens, and then chapter 4 happens, and you're like, what the fuck, dude? Like, and then chapter 5 is this sort of like huge fucking like crazy shit that happens on campus that is directly involved with like Max and her powers and things like that. So yeah, I mean generally, man, I had a good time with this game. There are some things that like are worthy of complaining about in terms of this comparatively to Life is Strange 1, but for the most part, the people that have been complaining about this game, I would put money down that they're only bitching and complaining because Chloe's not in this game. The Chloe from the first game that we have to either, sacrifice or not sacrifice. And also, to quickly answer, because I'm sure some people are going to be wondering, how do they implement your decision from the first game into this game? Because obviously some people say, like, oh, you got to have the save file. You got to have the save file. No, they literally just ask you, what happened to that girl with the blue hair? And then you have to make the choice in the dialogue of whether or not
And that's a fair way of achieving
super
it, right?
easy, super easy.
And then you're not forced to literally replay the first game if you want to start it a different way, right?
Well, and also too, you can just very quickly just canonize the choice you made, right? You just canonize it, and so now like every time that like the events of Arcadia Bay are mentioned, Max just already has the answer. You don't need to go making like multiple different weird choices or whatever. I think a lot of the weirdness of that though is that the different decisions kind of have some weirdness to them. So like if you're like me and you let Chloe die in the first game, then this is super simple. Max is grieving because Chloe fucking died, right? She died. She's still bummed out about it. But if you chose the other one in this game, her and Chloe actually like ran away from home and eventually somewhere down the line within 10 years broke up. And that feels wildly unsatisfying for two characters that like almost died together. Right? Like two characters that were literally kidnapped by like a serial killer rapist in the first game and like somehow like now they're just like, yeah, we broke up. It didn't work out. It didn't work out.
Yeah.
It's kind of fucking weird and tone deaf, but I can get that. But anyways, yeah, I thought the game was fun. I do not think that this is an immediate buy. Let me say
that was going to lead into my final question. This is a $50 game. Just for you folks at home, this is not your traditional $70 buy. But we don't. So that's just something for you guys to be aware of. But we don't like to rate on a numerical scale, just because video games are a little bit harder to rate than movies, right? So we want to give you guys whether or not we think it's worth your money, whatever that value placed on that game is going to be. So Ernell, do you feel like this is an immediate buy, right? Using our rating system, is it a play it now, wait for sale, or when that bad boy comes on in Game Pass one day, a deep sale, or just don't touch it, a hard pass?
Wait for sale. Wait for sale.
Even at $50, you feel like it's a wait for sale?
Even at $50, okay. I think that this game would be, because here's the deal: most gamers are not Life is Strange fans, right? Like they're like it's a very specific...
If you like the genre, you like the genre, right? You're not going to start here.
Well, exactly, right. So like you and I like Life is Strange. I don't know if Devin would actually be all that into Life is Strange.
I do not personally see him enjoying this.
Like maybe two, but
yeah, the two specifically only because of the brother dynamic. But the other characters, maybe just not. I just don't like see him connecting a lot with those characters.
Right. It's not that. It's. I feel like I would enjoy Life is Strange more in like a cinematic aspect than a game, you know?
Sure. Yeah.
Because I've heard enough about it.
Nothing wrong with that.
My attention span is a cold fish.
Literally was gonna say, I feel like Devin requires a little bit more going on in the game for him to like feel interacted with it. You know what I mean? Because like they're like I get that, like even when I'm playing a game like this that is like super narrative driven, that like even sometimes I kind of like have this moment where I'm like, oh, my brain is off. You know, and I know that like Devin gets like that, he starts to get sleepy. You know what I mean? And like that, like then it's not a good time. You won't pick up the information.
Yeah, that's like the hardest part about like any sort of like ADD. Narrative adventure game or like walking sim, right? Like the Invincible that I'm playing through right now is very similar, right? Like if I don't keep myself engaged in my head with what's going on in the story on the screen, I'll just start walking and not like really listening or paying attention, right? Yeah. And like that's just kind of part, like to an extent they want you to do that, right? Like it's part of like the charm to this genre, but that charm could very easily be received as boredom from a large player base, right?
Yeah, so for sure. So with that said, I think for Life is Strange fans, this could be a play it now, because just understanding sort of the direct correlation to the first game, like as a longtime fan, I was really excited to get the follow-up story to Max and what this means for her 10 years later. And the interesting, like the story generally speaking is just a pretty fun time. But for most gamers and for the overarching general consensus of, you know, the gaming fans, this is a wait for sale. I think that this game would be better served as a $30 purchase for most gamers than it would be $50 investment. Because I think for most people are going to get a $30 experience out of this. Because like
that's fair.
This is a pretty tame Life is Strange comparatively to the other games.
My favorite is True Colors, so
good game. A lot of people didn't like that one, but good game.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking crazy. I don't understand. I don't
No,
understand.
no.
the hate.
I know.
was
I
like,
know what it is. I know what it is.
what?
There's a different company that does Life is Strange now, starting from True Colors into this game. It's not the same
Oh,
studio. So when this studio
there's
started
some
doing
things
these,
that are just different naturally.
well, when this new studio started doing things and people started realizing that, wow, we're actually getting way more gay characters and everyone's
Oh,
gay
yeah.
now.
Dude, that's
And
like the
like
thing. That's like legit part of why I fucking like that fucking franchise,
I
man.
fucking love this goddamn franchise because it is like unabashedly queer. But there's a lot of people that like because of the conversation and a lot of fucking losers' brains about DEI shit, they think that this is just another DEI title that is just getting sucked
That's
out.
freaking whack, dude.
Um,
Everybody
but
deserves cool stories in video games.
I also like True Colors as well, which is
Yeah.
why I say like people are just being fucking weird about these
Yeah,
games
fucking
now.
whack.
But yeah, I don't necessarily think you guys as gamers need to buy this right off the cuff. Wait until it's $30. I think that'll be a much better purchase for you then. Garrick, play it now.
Play it now. Cool, yeah. Play it now for me. But I will. Yeah, I'll have to circle back to that pretty soon
Yes,
here.
sir.
But speaking of circling back, we're gonna circle back to what we have going on for the rest of the week. We have just a few things. Just a few. We had just one thing left for you guys this week. Actually, we are not doing splash damage this week, folks. We just there's not a lot. There's not a lot to play, and unless you guys want to see us play Helldivers 2 or Call of Duty for the umpteenth time this year, we've decided that we're taking a little rest on the video game front for now. We will be back. Don't worry. We're not gone forever. We'll come back. But right now, there's just not a lot interesting us that we don't feel like we would be able to give you passionate and entertaining content. Is what it's come down to. So we're taking a minor hiatus from Splash Damage, but we are not taking a hiatus from Ernell.
I didn't know it was me. Like, he could have been making that noise. Oh,
We
you probably
are
see the green
going
ring,
to go
huh?
see. Yeah, I was like, are you fucking shitting me, dude?
Continue, Garrick. Continue,
This
man. Go on.
fucking guy. We are going to be going to see a movie on Thursday because we don't have content on Thursdays anymore because movies come out. Early advanced showings come out on Thursdays these days. So we thought ahead, right? And we are going to be going to see Red One, and we will be giving you guys a spoiler-free review of that. Oh my fucking god! Yeah. Just keep his ass muted, Devin. Thank you. We'll be giving you a spoiler-free review of Red One, the first holiday blockbuster release of the season. And that's all, folks. Jesus Christ.
You okay
Let us
there?
know how you feel or felt about Life is Strange Double Exposure, and if it is a game you're interested in picking up and playing, because this has been Good Kraken's Death Ratio, your choice for all of the nerdy video game news, reviews, and discussion that you want to hear live each and every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Time. If you like what you heard this evening, you can head on over to our Discord channel, where you can submit questions and topics to the show, get exclusive content, and have early access to videos before they go live on podcast and video services, before they wherever you like to watch or listen. I don't know why I stumbled so hard right there for no reason at all. But you can also support us by going to our YouTube channel, clicking that beautiful bell and big red button, or by subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Death Ratio and leaving a review there. We got to get going, but until next time.
If you guys want to see
Elemented.
Garrick's Red One, come in on Friday.
Why did I unmute him? Why did I?